Hello everyone, welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. My name is John, aka Big Bad Biologist, and today we're putting together a Mac Plus that we took apart a couple of weeks ago that was very corroded. And so I cleaned up the corrosion. Hopefully we'll put it back together and everything will work great. So take a look at all the junk that's on the Big Bad Bench. We got this thing, the pop riveter, and then we got a loose flyback. We got the floppy drive, a speaker. This is all the stuff. Okay, so we'll put it all together. Let me say hi to folks in the chat as you are starting to take a gander at everything that's on here. So we got Gut Bomb, we got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, we got Alan Gracia, we got Trina's Technobabble, Lazy Blue Goat, Mac 84. Who else is here? Chris Angelis, hello. John Little, hello. Ian Scott, hello. All right, hello everyone. So, let's start with this because this we can get up kind of out of the way. This is not the normal color of these things. I don't know if you know that. Normally you have a nice, it's probably galvanized steel, and this thing got eaten. Okay, so with all of these, right, we got a battery that's there. They can leak, they run down the analog board, then they start tearing that up. So one of the things that failed for me this week, we'll talk about all the things that failed for me this week. So recently I found that citric acid works really well at cleaning up PCBs. Look at how shiny and beautiful this was. This was pretty corroded and nasty all along this side where the battery, and you can kind of make out that nice clear copper there. And so I was like, well, you know, if citric acid in the ultrasonic bath works really well on this, let's stick this in there. So we stuck this in there, and I meant to release a short this week showing it, but I'll have to wait until next week. This made a mess. Do not put these in the ultrasonic bath with citric acid. It made the water black. It made this thing all weird and like it had black spots all over it. It cleaned up the part where it was corroded very nicely, but the rest of the thing got messed up. So no, we do not put these in the ultrasonic bath, okay? So keep an eye out for a short about that topic later this week. So let's put this on here. So this is, I cleaned up everything and then put it, I used self-etching primer to give that a nice even coat of paint. Oh yeah, and as Dave just mentioned in the chat, Alan Gracia has a new video out. I think it came out today, or at least I noticed it today, talking about his, what did he get? It's a Mac Classic that he got, and as with all Mac Classics, it's gonna be a project. So also real quick, as we're looking at these, we got short ones, we got long ones, okay? So we're putting the chassis back on. We need to make sure we use our short ones for that, okay? So let's do that. Get one freaking thing out of the way. So much junk on the Big Bad Bench this week. Ugh. Yes, Dave, it reacted with the galvanized coating. Oh, Gut Bomb coming in hot with the Mac Classic hating. Normally that's my job. Normally I'm the Mac Classic hater around here, but I'll take a supporter. And Alan, I think you mentioned in the video, I meant to say something, leave a comment. I forgot to say that when I left my comment. You can use the Mac Classic motherboard, logic board in the Classic 2 chassis. They are fully interchangeable. So if you need to test your your logic board once you get that recapped. You can use your Mac Classic 2 chassis. And I'm not a hater of the Classic 2. And you might have noticed here when I put these in, I always go backwards, right? Lefty-loosey first, and then you hear that click, and then you go in, okay? And then once I have them all in place, then I go and tighten them all. Ian Scott will take any unwanted Mac Classics. You got to be careful when you say stuff like that, Ian Scott, because you'll be like Steve, and the next thing you know, you're going to have to build a shed to hold all of your Mac Classics. Hey, hardware hacker. Good morning. Okay, so what else do we have to do? I think our logic board is actually in pretty good shape. We're going to stick the original 256K sims in here just because I haven't adjusted the dealie yet. We'll put those back in there. I did pre-juice our sim slots with deoxit. Just gives that a little bit of lubrication. It helps with these plastic clips. It makes it less likely that you're going to break them. Doesn't mean that you're going to not break them. It means that you're less likely to break them. Okay, that's some stuff done. Okay, now we got to get to this guy. Oh, I did replace one of the reefas. This one had two reefas on it. One was there, one was there. Sometimes this one will be a reefa. So we're going to put that in there. Put that in there. Okay, let's get that done. And then we should be done with the recapping on this thing. Very easy to recap a Plus. Normally, you only have to do 3 caps. Sometimes you have to do a little bit more. Most of them, you're fine with just getting those reefas out of there. They are starting to get old, and you know, it probably wouldn't hurt to replace some of these. There's right here, yeah, this 3.9 microfarad 35 volt non-polarized cap sometimes gets overheated, and it's good to replace that one. But this all looks good. I think we're basically good. Oh, so I put this thing in the ultrasonic bath too, but I was a little worried about putting the flyback transformer in there. So I unsoldered the flyback transformer, which you normally have to reflow all the solder joints on the flyback anyway, so it's not a whole lot of work to just, may as well just suck it off. That's not the right words. Suck the solder out and take the whole flyback out if you're going to ultrasonic it. And then also, I always worry about speakers getting wet, so I unsoldered that. This is pop riveted in, so we got to pop rivet it back on. Okay. Oh, come on, get back on there. This one keeps wanting to escape. Get back on there, bud. Okay. That's enough for the time being. Ah, hardware hackers on vacation. You love the bag that says Krusty Plus. Yeah, this was a Krusty Plus when we got it. We're slowly making progress here. Well, we didn't know it was Krusty when we got it. I had it sitting there for a while. Then we finally took it apart a couple weeks ago. And we found out it was real crusty. So what else did I screw up this week? Oh yeah, I was working on my washing machine. So I have a Samsung washing machine that's probably 5, maybe 6 years old. And it started just randomly shutting off right before the spin cycle. So I took that all apart, and I started feeling like the main issue was the PCB, like the main controller PCB. And those PCBs are covered in, I don't even know what to call it. It's really some sort of conformal coating, but it's like jello, but it's sticky jello. Like it's not totally solid, and you can kind of peel it off sometimes, but sometimes it sticks to everything. And so I spent a butt ton of time taking all that coating off and getting down to the PCB. Dave asked, did I put enough quarters in? I don't have to put quarters into my own washing machine, Dave, but you know, everyone's got their own thing. All right, so I have not reflowed these. This one I can see needs to be reflowed. That one needs to be reflowed. So this is where our connectors are. It's always a good idea to look here, here, and here to see if the joints need to be reflowed. It looks like at some point in this thing's life that somebody did do some of them, but we'll redo these again real quick. I guess we should zoom in a little bit so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. Oh, man. Yeah, Samsung strikes again. All right, hardware hacker, we look forward to that. That sounds very interesting. Gotta love taking a 68030 and turning it into a Power PC. We did that once here with a Mac 2 VX. Had a lot of help from Steve on that stream, as we always have help from Steve. Getting the right control panel, something or other. Is it a control panel or extension or both? Oh, Mac, why do you do that to me? Sometimes it's a control panel, sometimes it's an extension. Oh well, the computer figures it out. Look at me cleaning my tip proactively. And so I tried to get yeah, that's another thing that failed this week. I tried to get a replacement tip for Chungus iron, or a replacement iron. And so this theoretically is a Weller, it says Weller right on here, and it has a blue stripe, right? So that totally is a Weller soldering iron. This is plastic, and if we look at my real Weller tip, that's metal. This thing does not heat worth a crap. So yeah, that was also a fail this week. Of course it was from China. I didn't pay for the expensive version of this one. I bought a bunch of tips. All the tips say Weller too, right? Like, these have to be legit Weller tips, right? I don't know. Don't know. So yeah, that was kind of disappointing. So I don't have a great big iron right now to work with. What else happened this week? So I have an older John Deere tractor, and it's a bigger than your normal lawnmower, but it uses a belt to go between the front of the motor to the deck. And it's called a mule drive. And so there's the deck belt, and then there's the mule drive belt. Hey, Bonkers Blade Latch. Welcome to the channel. Dave says, if you buy them from Weller, then you're okay. Oh, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. So the mule drive belt, I tend to break one once a year. It's not a great system. They break. And so I didn't have any spares, which normally I like to keep a spare around. And I did not have any spares. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a crack there. Got to redo that joint. So there's a local tractor sales place that has a parts department. And so I went there and they found me a belt that was the right length. And I'm looking at this belt and I'm thinking, that belt is not going to be strong enough, but it was the only thing that they had in stock. So I paid 40 freaking bucks for this belt. And I was like, all right, well, let me mow some lawn. And the belt died. And so I was like, all right, well, that sucks. I'm out 40 bucks. And whatever. I found good belts from a place I bought for on eBay. And so they, you know, they send it to me. Just double checking the orientation on this. This little guy goes, these wires go here. So I get the belts in and they're 3 inches too short. So that really sucked. So I couldn't mow my lawn. Okay, so we're gonna run these this direction. Put that in there like that. Put that in there like that. Okay, so there's our rivets to replace the original rivets. They're not pretty gold rivets like the original ones. But it'll work. So then what happened? So now I'm waiting on the proper length belt. Still waiting to mow my lawn. Oof. Oofa. There we go. That worked. Oh, get back in there. Get back in there, you rivet. It's Garth Beagle. Hello, Garth Beagle. So then, ow, ow, that hurts. Sometimes I smash my finger in between these things when I'm riveting. Okay, there we go. That's all back in place nicely. So again, I took this off. I took this off because I was ultrasonicking the analog board. So that's back on. Now we gotta solder the speaker wire back in. So then, now on to the, you use zip ties. Gut bomb. Between the cutting off capacitors the wrong way and zip ties repairing your speaker. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. So then what happened? So then somebody had a free washing machine like mine that was about an hour and a half away. So I get my truck, which is a 2004 GMC. Check my oil, check my trans fluid. Think everything's good to go. Hop in, take off, get there, grab the washer. All of your mattresses and pillows are indeed tackless. Hey, Starbuck. pick up the washer, everything's fine there. It's a slightly different model from what I thought it was, so I don't know if the parts are gonna work, but whatever. It was free, and I have people that will take steel for scrap anyway, so not a big problem. So we'll see if we can get it going with those parts. I have other parts coming next week, but they're taking forever to get here. That solder joint looked a little sus. So I go to leave, and I'm pulling out, and all of a sudden I lose brake pedal. Just like out of nowhere, my brakes just go to the floor. Alan has to go get his lunch. And I'm like, what the heck? So, let's put these back on. This one goes here. And this one goes here. So I pull over and I look under my truck, and oh my God, Gut Bomb is killing me in the chat here. And one of my brake lines had ruptured. So it was my front brakes, something ruptured, like one of my steel lines ruptured. And so I'm pouring brake fluid out. And so I'm under the truck off in a parking lot, trying to like pinch off the brake lines. I have like nothing for tools. I go and I find a nearby auto parts store, bought a bunch of brake fluid, and I got it, the leak slowed down enough, but I still don't have front brakes. So I'm like, well, I'm an hour and a half away. What the heck am I gonna do? So I just decided to kind of take back roads all the way home, stopping every once in a while to top off my brake fluid. And it took me about 2.5 hours to get home, but eventually I got home safe. My poor truck. I'm gonna have to go buy a full set of brake lines for this thing. I'm looking at the brake lines and they looked terrible. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is just get a full set of brake lines for this thing. John Little. That's why you always carry a soldering iron with you in the truck. That's a really good idea. What's going on, Rudy? Yeah, you missed my Tales of Woe for this week. Where are we? Okay, so there we go. Oh, we got to zoom out a little bit. Sorry, folks. Let's zoom out a little bit. There you go. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, this truck I use to like go get building supplies, right? So normally in the winter, things are too crazy. Uh-oh, I think I'm not inside my guide hole over here. Get in your guide hole. Oh yeah, and you can also see there was corrosion here, and I cleaned all that up and flowed solder over it. There we go. Now, this is one of the things I always skip, is getting that in the right spot. That's in the right spot. We can see our hole there. We can see holes here. Okay, good. We're making progress here. Let's get our bag. So this truck has seen very little winter in New England. Got to put this thing back on because people on the internet will yell at you if you don't. These two screws were very corroded. They belong down here. They have been cleaned up. Where did I put I lost the tip. I lost the tip. Come on, screwdriver, where are you? Oh yeah, here's one of the things I replaced in my washing machine. I thought it could be one of the relays because my dryer had bad relays, and I replaced those and that fixed my dryer, but that did not fix the washing machine. Come on, can't we have a nice thing? It's a 2004 GMC is my truck. So typically these are going to be a sheet metal screw. Every once in a while I come up across a system with machine screws there, but they're not supposed to be there. Normally the machine screws are for holding in your floppy drive. So I got one more that did not get battery corrosive on it. So yeah, I drove home the whole way with only rear brakes. Yeah, so these Samsung washing machines, I guess probably all washing machines are this bad these days. But it has so many sensors. We've got like sensors that check balance, check your water level. I guess all machines had water level sensors. Just a heads up, this floppy drive, I have recapped it. It didn't seem to work. This is the original cable that came in this corroded system, and turned out that it did not. The cable was bad, which is weird because I've never come across one of those floppy cables that's bad, but I wound up recapping this. So this is a recapped floppy drive now. And I tested it in another system, and it's totally fine. So we're gonna put that in there. John Little says I've had to drive 100 miles using the parking brake before. Oof, that sounds awful. So yeah, I had my, it's an older an older truck, so it has a parking brake that you use with your foot. So I had my one foot just like dangling up in the air over the, parking brake / e-brake, I guess you'd call it. Just dangling, waiting to potentially have to use that. So putting our floppy disk drive in. Just putting our floppy drive in. Hello, Jean-Francois Père. Yeah, it's a shame. Like, I want to like Samsung, but I mean, the dryer was easy enough to fix, but I don't know, I'm not having luck with anything. Basically, and the weird thing is, why I think it's the main control PCB, is it just randomly shuts off, and the power switch doesn't work anymore. So I'm thinking it's the main control PCB. I have a new one of those coming this week. They have like built-in diagnostics that are great, and they're supposed to tell you if you got issues at different parts. And sometimes the diagnostic goes all the way through and it's great, and sometimes it just shuts off. So I'm thinking it's the main control PCB. Okay, so floppy drive's in. Let's remember to put our ground lead back in before we power this up and explode it. Put this back on there. Put this back on there. That's real juicy. Ew, that's real sticky. It is now a nice clean Mac, Garth. It was not a nice clean Mac. Did a lot of work to the cleanup on this one. But yeah, it should be a nice little machine now. This one I hope to unload relatively cheap. If anyone in New England is looking for a Mac Plus, hit me up. Let's put that over there. Starbuck, it will not run Windows 11. Okay, let's make sure to put that back in. That's in. Okay, we should be good to go with our logic board. So Alan Grassi is saying not to speak because he wants a Mac Plus. Can't believe you don't have a Mac Plus. Oh, this screw was holding in the ground lug, which that's not the kind of screw. Normally you get the same kind of screws that we used in the side that holds in the ground. But whatever, that's what was there, so that's what we're gonna put back in. But just know that I'm angry about it. This is the wrong screw. What is wrong with people? Always put back the right screws. Okay, so that's that. I just saw Alan Gracia last weekend. We met up at Alvarium Brewing, which is a very nice place. I really like that place. I wish it were closer to me. So, I'm not going to see Alan anytime soon. Just saw him. Okay, it's floppy. Okay, so that's one of the things I always screw up when I'm working on a computer like this is I don't see the screen and then I freak out that the screen's not working. So make sure to put your brightness like halfway through. Oh, let's put that cover back on. Oh, I forgot to clean the cover. Some remnants of our grossness. Let's clean that up real quick. I like to put the cover on when possible. It makes it less likely that I electrocute myself. It's never going to eliminate the possibility of electrocuting yourself, but any little bit helps. Plus, it also reminds me of what adjustments can be made at different places. I have a feeling the voltage adjustment might need a little tweak. Changing your cutoff helps make it easier to see your screen sometimes. There we go. All right. This battery juice was so nasty. It was very yellow and weird. I hope it was just battery juice. Okay, that's that dealing. Yeah, well, it's not like these are PCs where mice can sneak in. They're just, So then these guys, it helps to back these out, make sure the little pins are kind of far out so that's easier to get in there. Boop. Yeah, there's nowhere for mice to go in here. This one was purely battery juice. Yeah, the classics are nice little machines, physically, the size, but I get so mad that Apple charged $1,000 for an 11-year-old processor and no hard drive. Like, just, what the heck, man? That was a total rip. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Oh, all right. Let's not plug anything in case our voltages are too wacky. And let's see what we get for electricity. Okay. Shut that off. Shut that off. Okay, here we go. We're going to turn that on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got flub, 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 flub. So sometimes that means that our voltage is set too high. Just want to make sure that I have everything plugged in. Sometimes you get flub if you have a short somewhere. Sometimes it's just the voltage being set too high. So let's turn our voltage down. Gonna get an adjustment tool. Sometimes flub's caused by uh-oh. Where's our adjustment tool? Okay, here we go. Oh, that was the wrong one. Yeah, that one was cranked up pretty high. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so now it's too low. It powered up, but it did not do a thing. All right, shoot. Now I forget my order of voltages. One moment, please. I know I have it around here somewhere. Oh, good golly. One moment, please. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So we want to check for a 5 volt. So let's see. Can you see what I'm doing here? You can't see what I'm doing here. So if we look down here, so this first pin's video, then we have a space, then we have H-sync, then we have sound, then we have V-sync, then we have plus 5 volts, which is that blue wire. So we're going to cram that in there. And then we have a ground after that, and then we have minus 12 volts, and then we have another ground. Oh, which I think, yeah, number 9 here, that orange one should be a ground. Okay, so I have my leads in. Let's see what our voltage looks like when we power this up. Whoa, 5.29, wow. That was way too much. That's not good. Yeah. I think we might have... Wow. I think we might have a bad voltage regulator. That's not something you normally see. Yeah, look at that. That's way too much voltage. We're at 5.43. Ooh, my. Huh, okay. Dang it, I was not prepared for that. All right, I think what we're gonna do is grab another Plus chassis just to make sure that this chassis, our logic board, is good. Hopefully I didn't fry it. That would suck. Let's get that out of there. Set you aside. Let's grab this chassis. Hey, Bacchus. Yes, high voltage makes for toasty Macs. Alrighty. Let's do the same thing with this one. Went to that orange one. Which one did I say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. Oofa. That sucks. But you know what? It's par for the course for this week, right? This week, man. This week. Let's turn that there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's off. Well, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Why is that doing that? Do we have a short on our... Hey, Carthor and Zlatko Beljon. Hello. You know, look at that. I think we might have a short on our logic board. That's a weird one. Neat. I don't think I've encountered... Oh, I did encounter one once on the logic board. That is fun. Let's just prove that this chassis is a good chassis. Come on, go into your home. Go on our blue and our more different orange. See? Look at that. That chassis is beautiful, right? We got like nice 4.96. That's good voltage there. So we have a short somewhere on the chassis or on the logic board. That's fun. That is really fun. Huh. Hey, Socket Wench. Hey, Asmodeus. No explosions. Yeah, that's good. All right. So actually, let's do a more different thing. Let's take that chassis and try a different logic board. Let's use this logic board. This one Sort of works. Again, we'll do this. We're going to add this where we totally will not electrocute ourselves. Going to go blue and orange there. Add some electricity. Shut that off. Oh yeah, this reminds me, never do what you see me do here at the Big Bad Bench. Oh, what's going on? This should be off. Oh my God, it's on. Did not want that to happen. Where's my little adjustment dealie? Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, 4.56 from the chassis. All right, that's better. There we go, tweaking that. Okay, now let's see what happens here. Okay, so we got good voltage. Do we have an issue with our chassis too? This logic board is a little wonky though. Oh, this one had some issues. Maybe it's just angry. This one has a CPU upgrade. Let me pop out the CPU upgrade because that is also creates issues sometimes. Put a regular CPU in this. Let's go with a good working chassis. I know this one's good. Blue, second orange. Okay, let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And are we getting anything out of our screen? Oh, there it is. It's going to need some adjustments. But, oh yeah, because I was tweaking on that knob. There we go. You get back up there, you guy. Okay. Let's give us a little brighter. Oh. Oh. Made it mad. Neat. So, somewhere we have a bad logic board. Okay. So, Dave says to check the programmer and reset buttons. That's interesting. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, so we're good. And we go back to here, we can see our voltage, our 5 volt is at 4.99. So this chassis is a good chassis. All right, so that's the one we just rebuilt. It's a good chassis. We got an issue with our logic board. How fun is that? I have weird ideas of fun, don't I? Reflow the power connector on the logic board. Yeah, that's a possibility. This one looks pretty good. We can take a look. Okay. Let's go under the microscope. Garth wants me to throw it off my deck. No, oh, that's not right. There we go. Oh, sorry, one moment, please. what does our power connector look like here? It's not bad. I've definitely seen them look cracked, but let's try that. Let's do it. Let's reflow these bad boys. The digital board. Oh, and I think Trina, did you post Rudy's stream? Rudy's gonna stream today. You don't want to miss that. And Rudy is III, or yeah, no, 1-bit. Are you both streaming together? I saw you mention something about 1-bit during Trina's stream this morning. Okay, so now that's that reflowed. Let's do what Dave said and check our reset buttons. So if we look over here, we can, let's go into beat mode. Well, they definitely, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's not stuck. So that's still good. Let's check what our resistance is, and now I'm gonna forget which ones are which. So 1, 2, 3 is ground, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 407 ohms to ground, 420 ohms to ground. Let's check on the other board that we just tried out. One, two, three, four, five. One. Oh, no, that's not it. Number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that 5 volts not shorted. That's good. Let's try different RAM. We're going to try 3. Well, I mean, we checked. It didn't look like the power connectors. It didn't look like our power and reset, or our programmer buttons. Let's try some more different RAM. Let's try some RAM that we know is good. I just love that I rarely have come into issues with Mac Plus logic boards not powering up, and now today, this week, everything has been crap. We have a Mac Plus logic board that's not powering up. How epic is that? Sometimes, man, things just happen. Make sure to dangle your boards precariously before you power them up. Okay, we're off. Oops. Flub. Flub. Okay. So we still got an issue here. That's really wild. Should we go for the low-hanging fruit and try our ROM sims? Yeah, we could potentially go with a thermal camera. Actually, no, I can't do a thermal camera while I'm streaming because my thermal camera is my phone, which is that cam. Let's try low-hanging fruit. Let's try the ROM. Let's get the ROMs out of here. They're a little crusty, but set you aside. Let's grab our ROMs out of our good board. Let's give these a little spray down before we put them back in. Oh yeah, juice it up real good. We're juicing that. Boop. No. It is so not happy. Huh. 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 Ugh. Dang. Let's check. Well, let's go to ground on all of our things. Put this back in. See if we can get a hint as to where our issue might be. I'm gonna drop all my junk off of the BigBadBench. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a lead. Gonna go to ohms mode. And what did we say our ground was? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can go to ground here. We're going to tie that ground to that ground. And get another lead. We're going to go red probe. And we'll tie that to that ground. And so how much resistance are we losing here? No, that's perfect. All right, good. Let's see. Now, come on. I need you to see what I'm seeing. There we go. That works. Okay. So this one, 2.3 mega ohms. Oh, 2.3 mega ohms. 3.4-ish mega ohms. Well, that's weird. Negative 5 mega ohms. About 18 mega ohms. 5 mega ohms. That one should be a ground. It's number 3. Skip one. That's the ground. Okay, that's good. Got 1,000 ohms to there. have only 150. Oh, let's take the RAM out. Sometimes the RAM can affect your resistance to ground readings. So let's pull out our RAM. All right, so what was that one again? 1,000. Yeah, see how that changed now? So that's about 1,000. That's close enough. Oh, this was the weird one, the negative. Yeah, so this one's weird. All right, let's continue. I get sidetracked. 2.4 mega ohms. 2.3 mega ohms. That's fine. 0.5 mega ohms. 0.8 mega ohms. That's fine. 2.4 mega ohms. 2.4 mega ohms. 1.4 mega ohms. 2.9 mega ohms. Okay, so what's this line? What is this one? What are you? This one, oh. So this one is our 12 volt. This one is our 12 volt. There's something very different. So what is connected to the 12 volt on a Mac Plus? That I do not know off the top of my head, but I get the feeling that it is most likely only the serial chip and maybe the floppy. Let's see, where's my schematic? Hey, KRNLG. So our initial, so this is a good board. We've got like two, there. It means that there's a capacitor on here. When you see this changing like this, there's a capacitor on that line. When you're here, oh, no, it just changed. Does that mean we cleared out our short? Oh, we were so close. We thought we figured a thing out. Ah, dang. That's funny. I thought I had figured a thing out. What happens? So, now what? Now what? I thought we were so close. Yeah, this is probably a capacitor that was recently charged. Well, that's not going to work now. Let's check. Kilo ohms. Yeah, that's bouncing around like you'd expect. 40 kilo ohms. This is interesting. This is on the good board. Oh, this must be the negative. 2,500 ohms. The negative's a little low. 900. Garth says Steve says I burned the gunk off the flurb nerb. Yep, that is totally what just happened. Well, that's fun. Well, I think, so the last time that I had an issue with a Mac Plus that would not power on, it turned out being one of the PALs. And as you can see here, this board is an entirely socketed Mac Plus. I guess this was actually the board that did not power up. So yeah, that was an issue. So basically, I think what I'm gonna have to do is start desoldering the PALs. I have a feeling that's the only way I'm gonna be able to do this until I find something. The one last thing I'd like to check is this little voltage regulator. Just make sure it's not shorted. So if we go from there, 0.7 mega ohms, that should be that. 200 kilo ohms. That's a lot of mega ohms. Yeah. Let's try the 7905. Let's see. I mean, it's a relatively easy thing to take off, so let's try that. And the color is a little weird. But after this, I'll probably have to just sit here and unsolder all the unsolder everything. Let's put these back in. And we're gonna upgrade this to 4 megs anyway, so let's unsolder the dealy. Just make sure nothing else looks totally out of alignment, out of weird. I don't see any explosions or nothing. This chip looks particularly crusty. That one. I guess I should have gotten better pictures of where all the corrosion was beforehand. It was mostly along both edges. I was like, Mac Plus. Nothing ever goes wrong with a Mac Plus. So make sure when you're desoldering, go sideways. Listen to the advice from Rudy. Okay. All right, I think I have some 7905s somewhere around here from when we were repairing a power supply. There we go. Nope. 7912. 7905. So this is our negative 5 volt regulator. Yeah. Don't you love the Dells that totally look like a ATX connector and they physically fit, but they are not. They are wired very different. Could it be this? It can't be that easy. It's not gonna be that easy. Hey, Joe. Oh, good. Joe's here. He will tell me exactly what's wrong with this board. Okay. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Flub, 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 flub. Pure flub. So that sucks. Mac Plus with a flub. So, yes, I'm propping it up against the case like a heathen. So, yes, we tested the chassis. The chassis is good with a different board. We tried this board in a different chassis, same result. Swapped the ROM chips, changed the RAM, same issue, changed the 7905. So I have a feeling that we're gonna have a bad PAL. The last time I had one of these with an issue like this, it was just a bad PAL. So what we're gonna do is I'm just going to unsolder all these PALs and try them in this board until we find what's wrong. So this is exactly why I made this board. You can see basically everything is socketed so that I can figure out what's going on. I might do a little bit more probing resistance to ground, but there were no major shorts to ground along our board connector. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try all these chips in this guy and then see what happens. And again, these PALs are available. You can get them online. I had a link in one of my other videos that showed how to reprogram those. So that was fun. So yeah, this is a sad Mac, and it just caps off a really terrible week of fixing stuff. And speaking of a terrible week of fixing stuff, I am going to go bang my head against my washing machine and try to get that to work because I really need to do some freaking laundry. So yeah, we're going to have to end this one here. I want to thank you all for hanging out and watching, and the comments and the words and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll give an update the next time about where we get with this. But at least we have a good chassis. We got a good chassis all cleaned up and ready to go for another well, hopefully this board once we get it fixed. Okay, have a great week, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you wouldn't mind, hit the like button. That would be swell. And as we say here at the Big Bad Bench, if you're a Trumper, go F yourself. Have a great week, y'all.